If your hormones feel unpredictable, one week energized, the next week exhausted, one day confident, the next day anxious, or if your weight, mood, sleep, or cravings feel harder to control than they used to, it may not be just aging or just stress. For many women, especially after 35, the biggest hormonal disruptors are actually hiding in the foods they eat every single day. Some foods trigger estrogen dominance, some spike insulin and cortisol, some slow your thyroid, and others quietly drain progesterone or lower testosterone, leaving you tired, bloated, moody, and out of rhythm without knowing why. In this video, you'll learn the 10 worst foods that silently wreck your hormones, how they affect your mood, weight, sleep, fertility, metabolism, PMS, perimenopause, and overall hormonal balance, and what to avoid if you want your hormones to feel stable again. By the end, you'll understand exactly which foods disrupt your system the most, why they trigger chaos, and which choices support a calmer, more balanced hormonal environment. This video is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. Food number 1, refined sugar, the fastest way to throw hormones off balance. If there's one food that disrupts nearly every major hormone in a woman's body, insulin, cortisol, estrogen, progesterone, thyroid, and even testosterone, it's refined sugar. Why sugar wrecks your hormones? Refined sugar creates a hormonal traffic jam within minutes of eating it. Here's what happens. 1. Insulin spikes immediately. When sugar enters your bloodstream fast, your pancreas releases a surge of insulin to lower it. But frequent spikes lead to insulin resistance, which increases belly fat, fatigue, cravings, mood swings, inflammation. And insulin resistance is one of the biggest triggers of estrogen dominance. 2. Cortisol rises to clean up the mess. After a sugar high, blood sugar drops rapidly, leading to headaches, irritability, anxiety, and hunger. Your body releases cortisol to correct the crash. Chronic cortisol spikes, lower progesterone, worsening PMS, irritability, and sleep problems. 3. It disrupts thyroid function. High sugar causes inflammation, which slows thyroid hormone conversion, T4 to active T3. A sluggish thyroid means slower metabolism, weight gain, low energy, brain fog. 4. Sugar drains testosterone. Insulin resistance lowers free testosterone, leading to lower libido, less motivation, and reduced muscle tone. Where hidden sugar lives. Even healthy foods contain damaging sugars, flavored yogurt, cereal, bread, granola bars, coffee drinks, fruit juices, ketchup, sauces, and dressings. Many women eat sugar all day without realizing it. Sugar is not just a treat, it's a hormonal disruptor. Reducing refined sugar is one of the fastest ways to stabilize your mood, cravings, weight, energy, and overall hormonal balance. Food number 2. Processed white flour products, bread, pastries, pasta, crackers. If sugar is the biggest hormone disruptor, then white flour is its identical twin because your body turns it into sugar within minutes. Why white flour wrecks your hormones? Processed flour products are stripped of fiber, nutrients, and minerals, so they digest as quickly as eating a spoonful of sugar. Here's how they harm your hormones. 1. Instant blood sugar spike. Insulin overload. Flour-based foods like bread, pasta, pancakes, cookies, and muffins raise blood sugar quickly. This forces your body into an insulin emergency mode. Repeated insulin spikes lead to belly fat, especially around waist, constant hunger, cravings, inflammation, weight gain, irregular periods. Insulin resistance is one of the biggest root causes of estrogen dominance and worsened PMS. 2. Low fiber equals stress on your hormone detox pathways. Fiber helps your body eliminate used estrogen. When fiber is removed, estrogen lingers in the body much longer, leading to bloating, breast tenderness, heavy periods, mood swings. Many women experience estrogen dominance simply because they eat too many flour-based foods and not enough whole grains or fiber. 3. Slows thyroid and lowers metabolic rate. High flour diets increase inflammation and slow thyroid conversion, T4 to T3. This results in slower metabolism, fatigue, stubborn weight, hair thinning. When the thyroid slows, testosterone and progesterone also fall. 4. Creates a cycle of cravings and mood swings. White flour gives quick energy but causes a fast crash, leading to irritability, low energy, nighttime hunger, emotional eating. This cycle puts cortisol on overdrive, lowering progesterone in the process. White flour acts like sugar, spikes insulin, worsens estrogen dominance, slows thyroid function, and increases cortisol. Reducing flour-based foods is one of the quickest ways to stabilize hormones and regain energy. Food number 3, vegetable and seed oils, inflammation that quietly disrupts hormones. These oils hide in nearly every packaged food, and they silently inflame your metabolism, disrupt your estrogen balance, and make hormonal symptoms worse. Why seed oils wreck your hormones? Highly processed oils like soybean, canola, corn, sunflower, safflower, and cottonseed oil are heated, bleached, deodorized, and processed with chemicals. Your hormones hate 3 things: inflammation, oxidation, and unstable fats. Seed oils trigger all 3. 1. They increase inflammation, hormonal chaos. Inflammation is one of the fastest ways to disrupt estrogen balance, progesterone production, thyroid hormones, insulin sensitivity. When inflammation is high, all hormones become harder to regulate. This is why women who consume a lot of packaged foods often struggle with PMS, acne, bloating, heavier periods, fatigue. Inflammation equals hormonal disruption. 2. They worsen estrogen dominance. Seed oils push your body toward estrogen dominance by slowing estrogen detoxification, promoting fat storage. Fat cells store estrogen, increasing oxidative stress. This creates more breast tenderness, mood swings, weight gain, irregular cycles. 3. They interfere with thyroid hormones. Inflammation from seed oils can slow the conversion of thyroid hormones, T4 to T3, causing slower metabolism, low energy, brain fog, difficulty losing weight. Poor thyroid function makes estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone harder to balance. 4. They hide in everyday foods. Most women consume seed oils without realizing it. They're in chips, crackers, salad dressings, mayonnaise, fried foods, fast food, coffee creamers, baked goods, margarine. Even healthy packaged foods often use these oils. Highly processed seed oils fuel inflammation, worsen estrogen dominance, disrupt thyroid hormones, and affect insulin, a hormonal nightmare. Choosing cleaner fats can dramatically improve hormone stability. Food number 4, excess caffeine, the silent hormone stress trigger. A single cup of coffee can be harmless, even beneficial. But too much caffeine, or caffeine at the wrong time, can silently throw your hormones off balance, especially for women over 35. Why excess caffeine wrecks hormones? Caffeine stimulates the adrenal glands, increasing cortisol, your main stress hormone. When cortisol stays high, it pulls several other hormones out of rhythm. Here's how it affects your hormonal balance. 1. Raises cortisol, lowers progesterone. High cortisol directly suppresses progesterone, the hormone responsible for calm mood, deep sleep, stable cycles, reduced anxiety. Low progesterone is one of the biggest causes of PMS, irritability, and sleep problems in women 40 plus. Caffeine first thing in the morning or on an empty stomach makes this worse. 2. Disrupts blood sugar. Insulin spikes. Caffeine boosts adrenaline, which releases stored sugar from the liver. This leads to cravings, mood swings, afternoon crashes, increased belly fat, inflammation. Unstable blood sugar is one of the biggest drivers of hormonal imbalance. 3. Worsens sleep, lowers testosterone and growth hormone. Poor sleep lowers testosterone, melatonin, thyroid hormones, healing hormones. Even one night of caffeine-triggered poor sleep can shift your hormonal rhythm. 4. Increases estrogen-dominant symptoms. Too much caffeine can impair liver detoxification pathways, slowing the clearance of used estrogen. This leads to heavier periods, breast tenderness, bloating, irritability. Who is most sensitive? Women who are in perimenopause, stressed, sleep-deprived, dealing with anxiety, on birth control, struggling with PMS, tend to feel caffeine's hormonal effects the most. You don't have to quit caffeine, but timing and quantity matter. Too much caffeine overstimulates cortisol, disrupts sleep, and worsens estrogen and progesterone imbalance. Food number 5. Alcohol, the hormone disruptor, hiding behind relaxation. A glass of wine may feel relaxing, but for your hormones, alcohol is one of the most disruptive substances, especially for women over 35. Why alcohol wrecks hormones? Alcohol affects the liver, the brain, and the endocrine system, the exact trio responsible for keeping hormones stable. Here's how it impacts hormonal balance. 1. Burdens the liver, causes estrogen buildup. Your liver is responsible for breaking down used estrogen. Alcohol slows this process down, which means estrogen stays circulating in your body longer. This leads to estrogen dominance, heavier or painful periods, bloating, breast tenderness, mood swings, fibroid growth risk. Even small amounts can create noticeable changes in sensitive women. 2. Spikes cortisol and disrupts sleep. Alcohol may make you feel sleepy, but it actually raises cortisol at night and suppresses deep sleep. Poor sleep equals next-day hormone disruption, low progesterone, low testosterone. Poor insulin response, higher morning cortisol. This explains why women feel anxious or moody the day after drinking. 3. Drives insulin resistance and belly fat. Alcohol is metabolized as sugar. It raises blood sugar and triggers cravings, fat storage around the abdomen, slower metabolism, increased inflammation. This combination worsens PMS, perimenopause symptoms, and hormonal weight gain. 4. Impacts progesterone and mood stability. Alcohol lowers progesterone, your calming hormone. Low progesterone equals more irritability, anxiety, and poor sleep quality. Who feels alcohol's effects the most? Women who are in perimenopause, dealing with stress, struggling with PMS, sensitive to blood sugar swings, low in progesterone, working on weight loss, will notice stronger hormonal reactions to alcohol. Alcohol slows estrogen detoxification, raises cortisol, disrupts sleep, and destabilizes progesterone and insulin, a hormonal disaster in disguise. Food number 6, dairy, certain types that disrupt hormonal balance. Dairy can be healthy for some women, but for many, especially those over 35, certain forms of dairy trigger inflammation, estrogen overload, and digestive stress that directly disrupt hormones. Why some dairy wrecks hormones. Dairy naturally contains hormones even when labeled organic. It also influences insulin, inflammation, and estrogen detox pathways. Here's how problematic dairy affects your system. 1. Naturally contains estrogen and growth hormones. Cows produce estrogen, especially during pregnancy, when most dairy comes from. These hormones enter your body and can worsen estrogen dominance, PMS, breast tenderness, clotting, heavy periods. Women who already struggle with estrogen-related symptoms tend to react strongly to dairy. 2. Increases insulin and IGF-1 levels. Cheese, milk, ice cream, and sweetened yogurt trigger a sharp insulin response. This worsens cravings, belly fat, hormonal acne, mood swings. Insulin resistance disrupts progesterone, testosterone, and thyroid function. 3. Triggers inflammation and gut issues. Many women become more sensitive to lactose and casein after 35. This leads to bloating, gas, constipation, fatigue, skin breakouts, inflammation from dairy places, stress on the adrenal glands, and worsens cortisol imbalance. 4. Certain dairy is more problematic. Most hormone-disrupting effects come from regular milk, ice cream, cheese, especially processed, sweetened yogurt, flavored creamers. These are high in sugar, hormones, and inflammatory proteins. Better tolerated options. Some women do better with Greek yogurt plain, cottage cheese, kefir, grass-fed butter, ghee. These have less lactose or are fermented, making them easier on hormones. Dairy isn't bad for everyone, but certain forms can trigger estrogen dominance, insulin spikes, and inflammation that disrupt hormonal stability. Food number 7. Soy isolates and fake health foods. The hidden estrogen mimickers. Soy itself isn't the enemy, but the highly processed forms found in protein bars, shakes, snacks, and meat substitutes can seriously disrupt hormonal balance. Why processed soy wrecks? Hormones. Soy contains phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. When eaten in natural whole forms, like edamame or tofu, most women tolerate soy well. But in its isolated, concentrated form, it becomes a hormonal disruptor. 1. Acts like estrogen in the body. Soy isolates bind to estrogen receptors, creating estrogen-like effects. This can worsen PMS, breast tenderness, heavy periods, mood swings, fibroids, bloating. Women with estrogen dominance or perimenopause symptoms are especially sensitive. 2. Found in healthy foods that aren't healthy. Soy isolates appear in many products marketed as clean or high-protein protein bars, weight loss shakes, vegan meats, energy bars, cereals, snack chips, plant-based yogurts, nutrition powders. These foods look healthy, but their estrogen-mimicking effects can make hormonal symptoms worse. 3. May interfere with thyroid function. In large amounts, concentrated soy forms can slow thyroid hormone production, causing low energy, cold hands and feet, weight gain, fatigue, hair thinning. If your thyroid is already sensitive, soy isolates can intensify symptoms. 4. Not all soy is bad. Whole soy foods are usually well tolerated: edamame, tempeh, miso, organic tofu. These contain fiber, minerals, and slower-releasing phytoestrogens. Avoid processed soy isolates. They act like estrogen, disrupt thyroid function, and worsen hormonal symptoms. Whole food soy is fine. Isolated soy in healthy snacks is the problem. Food number 8. Artificial sweeteners, the zero-calorie hormone disruptors. They promise no sugar and no calories. But artificial sweeteners can confuse your metabolism, disrupt insulin, increase cravings, and trigger hormonal imbalances, especially in women over 35. Why artificial sweeteners wreck hormones. Your body reacts to artificial sweeteners very differently from how companies advertise them. Even though they don't contain calories, they still trigger hormonal responses. Here's how. 1. They confuse your insulin response. Sweet taste alone tells your brain, sugar is coming, release insulin. But when real sugar never arrives, insulin becomes dysregulated. This leads to insulin resistance, weight gain, stubborn belly fat, cravings, low energy. Insulin resistance is one of the biggest root causes of estrogen and progesterone imbalance. 2. They increase cortisol through gut disruption. Artificial sweeteners damage the gut microbiome, especially sucralose, aspartame, and saccharin. Gut imbalance leads to inflammation, higher cortisol, worsened PMS, anxiety, bloating. Cortisol spikes directly lower progesterone and disrupt thyroid hormones. 3. They trigger cravings rather than reduce them. Artificially sweetened foods create a sweetness addiction because your brain seeks the real sugar it expected. This leads to nighttime eating, emotional snacking, binge eating episodes. Women often consume more calories overall when using artificial sweeteners. 4. They hide in healthy products. You'll find artificial sweeteners in diet sodas, sugar-free yogurt, protein bars, flavored waters, zero-calorie drinks, gum-light desserts, meal replacement shakes. Many women trying to lose weight unknowingly worsen their hormones with these products. Artificial sweeteners may be calorie-free, but they are not hormone-free. They disrupt insulin, spike cortisol, damage gut health, and increase cravings, all of which lead to hormonal imbalance. Food number 9. Processed meats, a hidden hormonal and inflammatory trigger. Processed meats don't just affect your heart and digestion, they also disrupt your hormones through inflammation, additives, and hidden chemicals that confuse your endocrine system. Why processed meats wreck hormones? Foods like sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, pepperoni, bacon, and packaged chicken slices contain compounds that create hormonal stress. Here's how they interfere with your hormones. 1. Packed with hormone-disrupting additives. Processed meats often contain nitrates, nitrites, preservatives, synthetic flavor enhancers, chemical stabilizers. These additives increase oxidative stress and inflammation, which disrupt estrogen balance, progesterone production, insulin sensitivity, thyroid function. Inflammation is one of the fastest ways to push hormones out of rhythm. 2. Raise cortisol through inflammation and digestive stress. Processed meats are heavy, hard to digest, and inflammatory. This triggers the stress response, increasing cortisol. High cortisol leads to worsened PMS, low progesterone, sleep issues, water retention, belly fat. Women in perimenopause feel this effect more strongly. 3. Disrupt gut health, hormone imbalance. A large part of estrogen detoxification happens through the gut. Processed meats negatively affect gut bacteria, slowing estrogen clearance and worsening bloating, fibroids, heavy periods, mood swings, weight gain. 4. Often high in sodium and saturated fat. These contribute to fluid retention, blood sugar swings, inflammation, cravings, all of which destabilize hormonal balance. Better alternatives. Choose fresh chicken, turkey, salmon, tuna, eggs, lentils, beans, minimally processed meats. These support energy, hormones, and metabolism without the inflammatory load. Processed meats are filled with additives, inflammatory fats, and chemicals that disrupt estrogen, insulin, cortisol, and gut hormones, making them one of the worst choices for hormonal health. Food number 10. Plastic packaged hot foods, xenoestrogens that hijack your hormones. It's not just what you eat, it's how it's packaged. When hot foods touch plastic, they absorb chemicals that mimic estrogen and disrupt your hormonal system. Why plastic packaged hot foods wreck hormones? Certain plastics contain BPA, BPS, and phthalates, chemicals known as xenoestrogens, because they imitate estrogen inside the body. Even tiny amounts can affect women's hormonal balance. 1. Xenoestrogens mimic estrogen. Estrogen dominance. When these chemicals enter your bloodstream, they attach to estrogen receptors and behave like estrogen. This leads to bloating, breast tenderness, mood swings, heavy or painful periods, fibroids, belly fat. Women in their 30s, 40s, and perimenopause are especially vulnerable. 2. Disrupt thyroid hormones. BPA interferes with the thyroid's ability to regulate metabolism. This results in fatigue, weight gain, slower metabolism, cold hands and feet, brain fog. Thyroid imbalance makes PMS and perimenopause symptoms worse. 3. Raise cortisol and inflammation. Chemical exposure increases oxidative stress, forcing your adrenal glands to work harder. This elevates cortisol, which lowers progesterone, leading to irritability, poor sleep, and anxiety. 4. Common sources of plastic chemical exposure. Xenoestrogens are found in microwave meals, hot tea/coffee in plastic cups, takeout containers, plastic soup bowls, packaged cooked rice, instant noodles, plastic water bottles left in cars. When plastic gets hot, chemicals leach faster. 5. Easy swaps that protect your hormones. Choose glass containers, stainless steel, silicone lids, ceramic mugs, wax paper instead of plastic wrap. Avoid microwaving plastic. These small changes dramatically reduce hormonal disruption. Plastic chemicals mimic estrogen, disrupt thyroid hormones, raise cortisol, and worsen PMS and perimenopause symptoms. Avoiding hot food in plastic is a powerful step toward balanced hormones. How to start healing your hormones. Through simple daily food changes. Removing hormone-wrecking foods is powerful, but replacing them with the right foods is what transforms your energy, mood, weight, and hormonal rhythm long-term. Most women think hormone healing requires strict diets. It doesn't. It requires consistent, gentle upgrades in the foods you choose every single day. 1. Stabilize blood sugar with balanced meals. The fastest way to calm hormones is to steady your blood sugar. Balanced blood sugar equals lower insulin, lower cortisol, better estrogen balance, and more stable progesterone. Use the hormone plate method. Half plate, fiber-rich veggies, spinach, broccoli, carrots, peppers. 1/4 plate, protein, chicken, fish, tofu, eggs, lentils. 1/4 plate, slow carbs, quinoa, brown rice, oats, sweet potatoes. Plus healthy fat, avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds. This alone drastically reduces cravings, mood swings, and bloating within days. 2. Replace inflammatory fats with hormone-friendly fats. Swap seed oils and fried foods for extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, omega-3 fats from salmon, sardines, walnuts, chia, flax, grass-fed butter or ghee. Healthy fats rebuild hormones, support thyroid function, reduce PMS, and stabilize mood. 3. Choose clean proteins over processed meats. Replace sausages, bacon, and deli meats with chicken breast, turkey, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, Greek yogurt, tofu in whole form, not isolates. Protein keeps blood sugar stable and supports hormone production. 4. Reduce dairy sensitivity, not dairy entirely. If dairy worsens your bloating, skin, PMS, or mood, switch to Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, kefir, ghee, grass-fed butter. Avoid sweetened yogurts, processed cheese, regular milk, ice cream. This calms inflammation and supports estrogen detox. 5. Ditch artificial sweeteners for natural options. Choose raw honey, dates, maple syrup, coconut sugar, monk fruit, stevia, clean, not blended with chemicals. These support insulin and cortisol balance without metabolic confusion. 6. Use hormone-safe packaging. Reduce plastic exposure by using glass jars, stainless steel bottles, ceramic mugs, parchment paper instead of plastic wrap, silicone lids instead of plastic tops. This small step dramatically lowers xenoestrogen intake. 7. Build a weekly hormone meal prep kit. Choose 5 items to prep weekly. 1 protein, chicken, lentils, tofu. 1 whole grain, quinoa, brown rice. 1 pot of veggies. 1 hormone-friendly snack, nuts, berries, dark chocolate. 1 sauce, dressing using olive oil. This gives you hormone-stable meals ready anytime stress hits. You don't need perfection, you need consistency. Each food swap lowers inflammation, calms cortisol, stabilizes estrogen, and protects progesterone. These small upgrades lead to massive hormonal changes over time. Conclusion: your hormones are asking for simplicity, not perfection. If your hormones have felt unpredictable, whether it's mood swings, fatigue, stubborn weight, bloating, cravings, or sleep issues, it's not your fault. For many women, especially after 35, the biggest hormonal disruptors are hiding in the foods they eat every single day. But here's the good news. Your hormones respond quickly when you remove the major triggers and replace them with supportive, nourishing foods. Even small upgrades, healthier fats, cleaner proteins, whole grains, less sugar, fewer chemicals, and better packaging choices can dramatically improve how you feel. Your body isn't working against you. It's reacting to the signals you give it. And when those signals become calmer, cleaner, and more balanced, your hormones naturally follow. You deserve a body that feels steady, energized, confident, and supported. And these simple food shifts can help you reclaim that balance. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. If this helped you, please like, subscribe, and share this video with another woman who needs hormone support. Thank you for watching.